to this public forum, this public hearing. What we want to do tonight is give one of our charter applicants an opportunity to present a brief summary of their application and take any questions from the audience members if they have any questions. Before we do that, I'd like to acknowledge our superintendent, Superintendent Moore, and members of the Senior Leadership Cabinet. Having said that, thank you again for tuning in if you're watching, and thank you for being a part of the audience. And I'm going to turn it over to the I Dream Big Academy applicants.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nettles. Good evening to everyone. I am Dr. Lucretia Prince, and I have with me Ms. Angela Lane. We are founders of I Dream Big Academy, and together with members of our planning team, we bring over 80 years of educational experience to our school model. Like many of you that are sitting before us, or those of you that are listening to us virtually, we have answered a higher calling to become educators. We have witnessed an array of success as well as challenges, but through it all, we all remain steadfast in one common principle. Our students, families, and educators deserve equal and equitable access to safe and successful schools. Our goal here on today is not to berate or point out the flaws of Montgomery Public School System. Our team consists of parents of MPS graduates that recognize that there are several positive things that are happening within the Montgomery Public School System. But until it begins to happen across all schools, for all students, that means that there's still work to be done. In September of 2021, MPS released a request for proposals for charter schools to submit an application to open a school here. They were seeking a school with innovative ideas and initiatives to help increase the academic performance of students within their system. I Dream Big responded to the request and submitted our educational model for consideration. A model that is based on high expectations, innovation practices, accountability, and college and career readiness. A design that encourages the creativity of its teachers, gives them freedom of flexibility and the autonomy to be experts in their respective fields, while creating a safe, supportive environment for them to grow. A model that is designed to help students tap into their passion and their interests, finding meaning in school through authentic learning experiences while being held accountable for their actions. Our state right now is in the process of building a bigger and, quote, a better prison just north of here. Did you know that Alabama has an incarceration rate higher than any democracy on earth? That's higher than any other state, higher than any other country in this world. I share this statistic because there is a direct correlation between education and incarceration. For many minority students, our education system has become a direct pipeline to prison instead of careers. And it is time to change the narrative, to change the directions of this pathway. We are presenting our proposal as a choice for students and families who have not found success in their current schools or who seek an alternative that doesn't require them to move to another city or pay for a private school. But let's be clear. The changes that need to occur, that must occur, will take all of us working together collectively and collaboratively. Also, at this very moment, we have hundreds of job opportunities in high demand areas that are going unfilled because there isn't any available workforce with the necessary skills to meet these demands. There is a better path that our students can take. So I ask you today, whether you're in this room or you're watching us virtually, is the educational system preparing all, the key word is all, of our children for jobs that are readily available and obtainable for them? Why have we become complacent with the structure that fails some of our students? Why have we become comfortable with the system that graduates students who aren't proficient in reading and math, who leave high school with little means of job security? Yes, MPS has structures in place that are working well for some of our students and for some of our teachers. But until these structures reach everyone, work has to be done. If I ask you today, what is the starting salary for an aviation mechanic, a beginning pilot, a plumber, a maintenance technician, construction worker, or a cloud-based developer? Many of us here wouldn't know, and if we are honest, we may not even know what some of those fields even consist of. These careers are just a few that are in high demand and available to our students. So what if we told you that our students will have an opportunity to leave high school certified and licensed in some of these high demand fields? What if our students could leave high school prepared to earn yearly salaries of $40,000 and $50,000? What if we told you that we have partnerships right now that are willing to provide our students with the necessary training? What if we told you that we have partnerships right now that will expose and help train our students in these type of career opportunities? What if we told you that it is possible for our students, I mean the students that look just like me, to graduate high school already hired by promising and thriving businesses? The truth is, this is available, but the reality is, it is impossible for students to seek careers if they don't even know it is available or believe that they are capable of pursuing it. Our students aren't being afforded these opportunities, not because they're not capable, but because we don't expose and prepare them for it. What would happen to our schools? What would happen to our communities if we stepped outside of the box for a moment and stopped trying to do education the way that it has been done for years? What would happen if we stopped dictating and placing our teachers in a box and gave them the autonomy to develop relevant hands-on projects that aligns with our state standards? What would our schools look like if we tapped into the passions of our students? What would happen if teachers were able to teach and students were able to learn? The sad thing is, we think we have students that don't want to learn. But the reality is that our students can learn and our teachers can teach. They both can thrive in environments that fit their learning styles and their needs. So today, whether we open a school in this area or not, it is beyond time for someone to say, what we're doing as a system isn't working. It's time for someone to say, that our students deserve better. It's time for someone to say, I want better for my child. Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting different results. How long will we continue to do the same thing over and over again and look surprised with increasing dropout rates and crimes in our communities? We ask of you, wake up and place all political agendas aside, and let's respond to the need of our educational system. As we close, we must reiterate that our goal is to partner with MPS, not to replace any existing schools. Our focus is to serve as an option for families that haven't found success in traditional school settings. Parents and community stakeholders who are in this room on this evening, those of you that are watching us virtually, it is time for all of us to dream bigger for our students and for our community. Thank you so much for your time. We now turn the floor back over to Dr. Nichols.
So what we want to do now is take questions from the audience members, if there is anyone here who has any questions about the program itself. Yes, ma'am. So the question you have is what are the actual components of the academic program?
So the academic program consists of, we start with middle school, leading into high school. So we focus on the academic core, math, literacy. We embed those through what we call hands-on projects. So for example, an 8th grader may have his first class as robotics, the second class as home ec. Within those classes, they're going to learn key math skills and reading skills. So our goal is to teach reading and teach math, but instead of teaching in isolation where a student just sits in class and do reading, we put it in a format where they're learning that skill, but they're learning it through how it actually works, how it actually is applied. So for example, in a home ec class, our students are learning measurement, they're learning conversion, they're learning reading. So they're getting the core, but they're getting it through meaningful ways. And as we go through the middle school, the goal is to expose them to a variety of different projects, different careers. So once they reach middle school, they can focus on a career that is of interest to them. And then those careers become more focused on what leads to the actual certification. So for a student, let's say for example, want to go into aviation mechanics. Our design is set up to where once they reach 10th grade, they will actually start taking the courses approved by FAA that will allow them to become certified. So once they graduate, not only will they have a high school diploma, but they'll also have that certification that will allow them to go directly into the workplace once they graduate. Yes, sir.
What's your ultimate desired capacity for students and what grades do you intend to start with in your first year?
So the first year, the grades will start 7, 8, and 9. Each cohort will average around 125 students. At capacity, we will be 6 through 12, with each cohort averaging around that 125. And that grade level allows us to break our student-teacher ratios down into small community groups, but also as our students move into high school, a big component of our structure is internships and apprenticeships. So one of our partners can take 10 students each day. So that cohort allows all of our students in the 11th grade to be out in the field with their apprenticeships without overwhelming the community with providing apprenticeships and internships for our students.
And sorry, follow up. So when would you start sixth grade?
Yes, so the first year we start with 7, 6th grade we bring into year 3. I'm sorry.
I said, how can we go about getting an application and signing our child up for the program?
We're still going through the initial process of getting approval. If we are approved by the Montgomery School Board, we are set to with an opening date of 2023. At that time, the enrollment is open, so anyone who applies, the application will be online as well as hard copies available for parents. We'll also have applications available at key community establishments close to our residential communities. But any parent, anyone can apply. If the number of applications is less than what that cap number, everyone is accepted. If we receive more applications than we have for the academy, we'll have a blind lottery, which means we'll just randomly select from that lottery.
Yeah, you'd mentioned some partners that you're working with already that you've already lined up. Can you name or say some of the field areas or you have those partnerships with?
Yes. So with our aviation component, we partner with the Red Tail Foundation to come in and give our students to provide exposure for that field. They will also provide opportunities to job shadow and internship for our students to receive the FAA required hours. We've also partnered with Box Aviation here in Montgomery. They will help us with putting some of the actual equipment in our classroom so while our kids are learning about propellers and engines, they will actually be able to see it. They will also provide the apprenticeship hours for our students as well. We've also partnered with Coastal Community College, and while it's in Mobile, they do have one of the most prominent aviation programs for dual enrollment credit, so they will assist us and provide a teacher that will teach our kids here. For the cloud-based technology program we have partnered with Amazon to have access to their curriculum that will allow our students to complete the cloud-based curriculum, receive certifications. So once our students turn 18, they will be able to go into Amazon's job recruitment board, and Amazon has partners who would say, we're looking for someone who has this certification and this certification. And as our students earn those certifications, they will automatically link to interested companies based on these certifications that they will begin earning as well. And those are just a few of the partnerships that we've begun to develop.
I know you mentioned the Red Tail Foundation, and I see one of your aviation academy tracks is the airline pilot. So can you talk more about that track and what a student who graduates would come out with when they're done with that track?
So for airplane pilot, there's 4 levels of a pilot licensure. Our students will be working toward the beginner license. And that requires so many hours of actual textbook curriculum. We've applied to FFA for their curriculum, which will be provided to us free of charge. But in addition to the textbook curriculum, there are so many hours, man hours, that our students have to get as far as like being familiar with the aircraft simulation as well as actual flight. And the program that the Red Tail Foundation has started, they are also working toward being able to certify a certain number of minority pilots over a certain number of years, so that works well with us. And so our students during the day either will be bused to Red Tail Foundation or Box Aviation. Both of those entities will provide our students with the actual flight training. So our students will fly with their teachers.
Are there any additional questions? Ms. Lang, it's my understanding that you have a one-pager information sheet out front?
Yes, there's a one pager outside at the door that kind of details and outlines the different programs that we will have within our academies.
Thank you for your time. How about this? Thank you for your time and your application. And we thank you for your time this afternoon. And if there are no other questions or no other comments you would like to have about your program, Dr. Moore, are there any comments you would like to present? And having said that, thank you again for your time, and you guys have a great evening and happy holidays.